Well, today is here. Saturday is here. It's a big day for us. I'll go over what took place yesterday. There wasn't a ton to talk about, but I'll go over what took place yesterday and then touch on what's ahead for us today. We have 15 or 16 horses racing today. 5, 10, I think 15 horses racing today. All over the place. We're in the Meadows. We're in Virginia. We're in Oak Grove. We are in Charlottetown, PEI. We are in Scioto Downs, Northfield Park. We're everywhere today. It's going to be a very eventful day, hopefully, for us across the board. Now, I'm going to go in quickly this morning. I want to train Zena Kemp a little bit, see how she feels. For Tuesday. You know, made that break in Oak Grove last week. A little fractious in her first start. You know, the training wheels are off. Today, you're going to do your work properly, and if she does not, then we'll formulate a plan to ensure that she does. So the issue with Zena is she gets a little rowdy, she gets a little warm, then if you put something in her mouth like a snake quarter, dog chain, she wants to throw her head, act up, and make breaks. Well, she can easily get the hobbles on and do her work properly if that's how she wants to be. You know, now is the time to get it done right? This is the 2-year-old baby stuff and mistakes that you make sometimes. They need to be polished up and come to an end. And mostly, and you can see now when I tell you guys that it's hard for horses that are rude and stubborn to learn at the same speed that the other horses do. And you can see that if you go back and track horses like Zena, right? They'll do their work on their terms. What happens is some of the other horses that are a little more flexible, a little more malleable, they can, you know, you can show them their work and they're eager to do it. They learn quicker and they're more effective for the most part. You know, talent is talent, but it has to be combined with intelligence, and it has to be combined with maturity, both physically and mentally. And at that point, you start to see the best form of that horse. But if there are bumps along the way, if the horses are rude or stubborn or ignorant, then it's really hard sometimes to teach them their work. They'll get it eventually, but it just takes a little bit longer. You know, it was funny. I was having a conversation with Chris this winter, and he was saying how talented Zena was and how fast she was. And I said, yes, she is. But quite frankly, some of the other horses will do better because they are a little rude, a little stubborn, a little fractious. So this will pass. It takes time. The unfortunate part is I do believe she could be some form of a stake filly in Lexington and Kentucky if she wanted to be right now, but she's still in that rebellious stage, if you will. So we'll continue to work with Zena. She's in to go Tuesday, where she should do some damage. I suspect she will, and then we'll move forward. So I wanted to go with her. I wanted to jog a couple of the horses that maybe were on a line a little bit last week. Now, I didn't see it in training day. The day after training day, hey, Anthony, this horse is on the right line a little bit. It could be a number of things. One horse we already know was a plus pocket with Bella Dale. You've since seen her train in the video I posted the other day. She was absolutely incredible by herself. For a filly that missed a week, and then to come out and train as fast and as easy as she did, she's just a good horse. And then a lot of the other horses, again, we want to nip all this stuff in the bud, stay on the front end of it. Horse on the right line a little bit, okay, let's go look. It might be nothing. It may be something that we have to work on. This is the time of year. Again, we've worked through a lot of March and April. A lot of the knees were bothering them, you know, some growth issues. But we did push the accelerator pretty hard over the last 2 weeks. So are there some horses with some little aches and pains? It's possible, very possible. If there is, then we need to nip it in the bud right now. It is May, you know, for all intents and purposes. Horses like, I told you that Atomics was going to go to New Jersey with Amy for the foreseeable future. Well, horses like him, I mean, they don't race until July 18th. So there's lots of time to fix and work on whatever we have to. But we have to see it. We have to diagnose it. We have to know what it is. And that's what training days in the month of May are all about. March and April is to get them to May. In May, assess, reassess, and make sure that everything's moving in the right direction for the summer. So that's what we're going to do this morning. Now, yesterday, don't ask again, I told you guys, I thought she was sitting on a 55, 56 mile. She was. Unfortunately, they went in 55 and 1. That was a good mile for her, though. You know, you know that the speed was a bit foreign to her in the last turn when I zipped her 3 deep. She should have attacked, but she was working. She just has to buy into the the workload. She has to buy into the attacking and putting out 105%. It's there. We're right on the cusp. Probably put out 95, 98% yesterday, but I need her to push forward. When I move her, attack like you want to win. Not that I'm asking you to do it, that you want to win. And she's coming. She is getting better. There's a perfect example of what I was talking about with respect to horses that are a little stubborn and a little rude to their work. It takes them longer. You are going to see the best form of Don't Ask Again over the next 3-4 weeks. Now that we got her screwed down tight, we put the hobbles back on her, we lightened her up, put her on Lasix because she was bleeding a little bit. That was likely a source of some of the trepidation in her work. But you will see her come forward now. I don't know what she'll become, but yesterday was a glimpse into what she'll be. Yesterday was not all she can be. Not even remotely close. I'm telling you that from the guy sitting behind her, not as one of your partners that want to see her do better. As the guy who drove her yesterday, she is pushing forward and she is moving in the right direction. It's going to take a little while, but maybe she'll peak at the right time. So Don't Ask Again, I thought was very good yesterday. Rico Tubbs, I don't know what to think about this guy. You know, when he came from Ontario, I was a little disappointed. Then he went that huge mile for Justin last week. He raced good. And then yesterday was kind of just present, right? Didn't really seem like he was in the race at all. And then finished up poorly. Scoped okay. We did scope him. You know, but as I said to everybody, he might be that upper echelon of overnight horse. And maybe he's not a stake horse. I don't have a problem with that. It's fine. You know, I had somebody message me, a couple of people messaged me over the last 2-3 weeks and say, Anthony, you know, is it not worth just allowing the horses to race and get some points, try to get them in the final, and then hope they do well? I said, the most important part of what you just wrote is the one word that you shouldn't, which is hope, right? Now, I hope Degas does well today. She's 8-1. She has a legit shot to race well today. Degas earned her way into the final, fair and square. And I hope that she does well. They both made the $300,000 final of the Oak Grove Oaks. But hope is not something you want to really rely on, right? It's a wonderful thing. But I don't really want to hope that we can sneak our way into the $50,000 Stallion Series final or 75 or whatever it is. Go behind the gate at 12-1. Hope that we draw the inside. Hope that other horses make mistakes. Hope that we get a great trip. And then hope that the horse performs as well as he can to do well. I mean, just take away a little bit of that hope and put him in the non-winners of 2 but 4, 4 but 7 condition claimer at Northfield. The only hope will be from the other drivers and owners, hoping that our horse makes a break, hoping that our horse isn't as good as he looks like on paper. That's the type of hope I want to deal with. Put them where they belong, unless you can't. Now, when you're talking Grand Circuit races, of course it's a little bit different. Jailbird Jog might be 8-1, but I'm a little surprised. Aren't you? She tried a 52 in a piece last week. Last half in 55. To think that she draws 2 with the horse to beat on paper from what I saw the last 2 weeks. The horse to beat is drawn right to your left. There's no trailer. All I got to do is hold position and get away as good as I can. And then I need a little bit of hope. I got to hope that she's as good as she's been and that the one horse isn't. Now that's hope I can deal with. 8-1. That's the top end of our hope. We don't want to be hoping any deeper than that. You know what I didn't do? I didn't get Amy a drink. And she has been at the barn since 5:45. She will snap. Well, she won't snap. She never snaps. But I got to go get her a Starbucks. It's unfair to her. Anyway, to the person that wrote the email, you know who you are. And this isn't me mocking you, right? I'm just saying, no, I have zero interest in trying to sneak and slither my way into the Buckeye final or the Stallion Series final in why is this thing doing this? In Pennsylvania to hope to race for 75,000 when I know I can race for 12,000, 10 to 12,000 every week and be 2-1. Because that's how we should race our horses, where they belong. And don't ask again, although she was 4th yesterday, I'm not going to Philadelphia to chase them. I might go to the Poconos. Speaking of the Poconos, I wake up to a phone call. Tim took our truck to the Poconos. I see a text message. The same emissions light that came on when I was broke down on the side of the road come on that truck today. You know how frustrating that is? It's one thing to be broke down on the side of the road. It's another to be 5 hours away from home. And it happened. I'll tell you what, this dealership, they better get it right. There's nothing more frustrating than that, is there? To have lights come on in your car, especially when you're driving quite a ways away from home. In this case, we've Time Is on My Side and Solidarity in the Poconos. Now Tim has to look for a ride home for our 2 horses, then see a dealership if they can take this truck. I might blow a gasket by the end of the day in regards to the truck. So I felt bad. I'm really sorry we just had this fixed. I mean, and to be fair, this hasn't really been a problematic truck at all. That one time that emissions come on and it sounded like it was a weird thing that happened and it's fixed now. Don't worry about it, Mr. McDonald. But I am worried about it. It is bothering me. So, that will pass. It'll be another page to turn in the book of life. But when it comes to our horses, really excited about the way things are going right now. Not super excited about this week. We had a couple of poor days, didn't we? Lifting Legend made a break last night. Like, he barely has a heartbeat in Ontario. And Brady Galliers messaged me and said, geez, he trots so nice, that horse. I was getting away great. Just as I was clearing off to the front, he kind of flicked his ears like he was just green and made a break. I said, well, Brady, that's what mediocre horses do sometimes. And a little frustrated, but at the same time, he's a trotter. So another page we have to turn. Bridge Over Broadway. The only bad race she's ever raced in her life for us was last night. Now there's a horse, as I said to Scott after. We can keep the horses fresh, racing them at 8-5, 2-1, 3-1 in those condition claimers in Northfield into Miami Valley. But when you start getting up into classes that are very tough, sometimes that fatigue doesn't take long to turn into exhaustion. And if you're a horseman out there, I say that, but I mean it. Because some of the stuff, when I say it, following that statement, it's not stuff that you might understand. You can see a horse start to get a little tired. You say, I might need a break. But when they're racing at the top of their ability, a couple of bad starts and they're like depleted. So I'm going to probably turn out Bridge Over Broadway for a few weeks. Just give her a short break. Let her recharge her batteries, so to speak. She's earned it, I believe. So we're going to give her just a short break. And then Chicago Hall, I'm like, first over, I don't know about that. And then around the last turn, I'm like, geez, he's got him collared. And then he ends up 4th. As I said to Scott last night, this horse is more of a leave, sit type horse. Leave, sit, attack. Not first over. Never has been. Now he's racing good right now, but has never been that type of horse. So now with Amy going away, it kind of handcuffs me what I can do all week also, right? Because I get the kids with me. So I plan on going to Sayota. It's only an hour and a half down the road on a Friday evening. It's not a big deal. Friday evening, I can probably make it for Sayota next week. I'll drive Chicago Hall and anybody else that we have in to go. Next Saturday, we'll have to figure out what we're doing. It's going to be a very challenging next 3 weeks. But you know what? As I said, I think for us, for the horses, for me, for Amy also, I think it's the best move for us just to let her relax and do what she loves. If you've been around horses, you know what what I'm talking about. Just to be around horses, it's rare. Why is this thing going crazy? It's rare that you can just do that. And for her to be able to do what she loves and take some time at the same time to relax. So we got a busy summer ahead of us. I think it's a feather in her cap, our cap, everyone's cap to have that happen. So next week and the week after, a little challenging, but I'm up for it. But I believe I can make it to Scioto next Friday evening for Chicago Hall. And then today, just a brief overview. Looks like money is in a good spot, 7-2. Justin Irvine's going to drive him. Shenandoah, we're 4-5. Oh, I love the 4-5s. 4-5 in Shenandoah with our girl, Cherry's girl. Good luck to everybody. And Luke with her. Time is on my side, 5-1, but we have the rail. It's 2 rails. Drew pretty good today. Solidarity drew the rail too? No, he didn't. Did he? Did so. 9-2. Mike Wilder's going to drive both the horses in the Poconos back to the Meadows. Tally the tab. 8-5. Liking that with Justin Irvine in the bike. Spitfire Overseas 5-2. It's turned out to be a good day so far. Woodmere Bullets even 7-2 in Prince Edward Island. Then we go to Nuclear. He's 5-2 in Scioto. He trained great this week, so I'm expecting a good mile from him. And then we get down to our girls, Degas. She's 12-1 from the outside, but we are racing for 300,000. Jailbird Jog 8-1 from the inside. HB Liz Shadow is 10-1. Yeah, we got to find a better spot for HP Liz Shadow moving forward. And then we have back to Northfield to close out the night. Dune, I don't think I can make it back for the 9th. She's 5-2. My only concern was My Name's Swaney. And it's not that My Name's Swaney's a killer, but she's really hard to drive sometimes if you don't know her. If you know her, you can get along with her. If you don't know her, she's going to put you through the ringer. And I want to avoid the ringer for anybody tonight. So I'm going to try and make it back for her. That's going to be a tight fit. Hopefully it won't be a problem to make it back for Dixie Dream in the Open Fillies and Mares. Closing out our night with a favorite. Capistrano night. So we got some favorites. We got some horses in play here today at the stable. I hope you guys are having a great start to your morning. It's shortly 8 minutes, 8:02. Right now, I'm going to make my way to the barn, train Zena, get going, see if we can get our day off to a flying start. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a great Saturday. Good luck to all my partners. 15 going behind the gate today. Good luck to everybody.